Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we are going to completely transform how you look at the IELTS exam. I mean it. If you're a focused learner gearing up for this test, you've probably spent, countless hours grinding through vocabulary lists, grammar drills, listening to endless audio clips. All of it. But today, we're taking a step back. We're going to pause the raw language study and focus on something honestly even more critical. We are decoding the IELTS game and mastering the strategy mindset.
You know, it's got to be one of the most deeply frustrating experiences out there. You speak English every single day. You write complex emails at work. You probably even watch English movies without the subtitles on. Yet, you take the IELTS and your score comes back, well, significantly lower than you need. So, why do fluent English speakers fail this test? If this has happened to you, listen to me. Take a deep breath, lower that anxiety right now, because passing the IELTS, it isn't just about language proficiency. Actually, relying solely on your everyday fluency is exactly where so many test takers go completely wrong. Section 1, the good English trap. Let's talk about this major mindset shift.
It is time to stop the exhausting grind of just trying to learn more English. We need to start understanding how this specific test actually works. Shifting your mindset from "I'm learning English" to "I'm learning IELTS" is literally the single most important step you can take today. The IELTS has a highly specific, almost rigid way of testing your skills. It's not testing your personality, right? It's not testing how native your accent sounds. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the caption. The test measures how well you can perform under structure and time pressure. Think of the IELTS like a complex board game. If you don't know the rules of the game, you are going to lose, even if you are incredibly smart, or in this case, incredibly fluent. Let's look at these two totally different approaches. Over on the left side, we have what I call the chaotic, fluent, but unprepared mindset. This candidate thinks they absolutely need perfect English. They rush through the questions and they use these big, awkward, million-dollar words to try and impress the examiner. But on the right side, we see the strategic mindset. This candidate understands they don't need perfect English. Instead, they prioritize clear communication. They don't rush, they rely on a strict timed structure. And they don't try to impress anyone. They simply follow the instructions to the letter. And guess what? The test heavily rewards that clarity, organization, and confidence over fancy words or complex forced grammar every single time. Section 2, the power of strategy. Why strategy always beats brute strength. To really cement this idea, I want to walk you through a concrete case study. This proves exactly why treating the IELTS as a hackable, structured game is the absolute best and, honestly, the only way to win. Okay, imagine we have two candidates sitting for the test on the exact same Saturday morning. Both candidate A and candidate B have identical English levels, same vocabulary, same grammar. Candidate B on the right there decides to just wing it. They're just going to use their English and hope for the best, leaning on their natural fluency. But candidate A on the left takes a totally different path. They know the format inside and out. They know the exact time limits for each section, and they deeply, deeply understand the marking criteria. They structure their writing perfectly, give concise answers when speaking, and manage their time like a pro in reading and listening. So, the crucial point is, candidate A scores a massive 1 to 1.5 bands higher than candidate B. I really want you to let that sink in for a second. A full band, maybe a band and a half difference. And it is not because candidate A magically knew more English vocabulary or had flawless grammar. It's simply because they played by the rules of the IELTS. That right there, that is the raw, undeniable power of strategy at work.
Section 3, think like an examiner. Let's demystify the person scoring your test.
If we want to be like candidate A, we need to get inside the head of the people grading the exam. Let's completely demystify the person sitting across from you in the speaking test or the one reading your essay. I really want you to internalize this quote. IELTS examiners are not trying to fail you. They're trained to look for specific things that show your English is functional and reliable. Let's relieve all that test day paranoia right now. The examiner is not a villain trying to trip you up or trick you. Think of them as a completely neutral referee holding a clipboard. They just want to see if you can hit their specific functional benchmarks. That's it. When you start thinking like that referee, you can actually evaluate yourself using this exact internal checklist. Number 1, did I answer the question directly, or am I just rambling? Number 2, is my response organized logically? Number 3, am I using a variety of sentence types naturally? And finally, number 4, can someone understand me clearly, even if I make a few minor mistakes? Because you will make mistakes. If you can confidently say yes to these 4 questions during your daily practice, you are already thinking the IELTS way.
Section 4, beating common IELTS traps. Time to fix those stubborn bad habits.
Okay, now that we have the right mindset, let's identify and fix the most common strategic flaws that are holding you back. And this brilliantly illustrates how replacing rigid habits with flexible strategies instantly lifts your scores. Look at this map of bad habits versus winning strategies. Instead of memorizing full essays or speaking scripts, which, by the way, examiners can spot instantly, you need to learn flexible language structures. Instead of rushing in a panic, you absolutely must slow down enough to understand exactly what is being asked. Actually, scratch that. Don't just slow down, be deliberate. Rather than awkwardly forcing big, complex words, you should use natural, confident English that actually sounds like you. And finally, please stop trying to study everything all at once. Focus your energy strictly on your weakest area first, because progressing there will lift your total overall score the fastest.
Section 5, your strategy toolkit. Let's talk about the gear you need to implement this game plan. Recognizing the traps is great, but we need actual tools to overcome them. We're going to equip you with the specific habits you need to build a rock-solid routine. Let's move on and see how this builds into real results. Step 1, you must practice with purpose. Simply doing endless reading exercises isn't enough. When you get something wrong, you have to stop and ask why. Analyze the mistake like a detective. Step 2, study under real test conditions. That means using a harsh timer, sitting upright at a desk, no studying in bed, and taking breaks only when the actual test allows it. You have to train your brain and your body for the sheer endurance required on exam day. Now, as you apply these strict conditions, you're going to make mistakes. You will get answers wrong, but you need to adopt this resilient mindset shift right here, right now. Failure is just data. That's all it is. Getting a listening question wrong during practice isn't a sign that your English is bad or that you're somehow doomed to fail. It is simply a vital data point showing you exactly where to tweak your strategy. Maybe you lost focus for a second, or maybe you missed a tricky plural noun. Take that data, adjust your approach, and keep moving forward.
We've covered a tremendous amount of ground today, shifting away from the chaos of just learning more English and moving toward the precision of truly mastering the IELTS game. So, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. What does strategy mean to you personally in this journey? Take a moment today, be totally honest with yourself about how you currently prepare, and think about what needs to change. Because once you fully embrace this strategic mindset, there is absolutely no limit to what you can achieve on test day. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer, and I will see you next time as we continue decoding the path to your success.